It's very common for yogis to experience neck pain or discomfort in camel pose or ustrasana. And I have 3 tips to suggest that may help your neck to feel more supported and therefore more comfortable in this pose. So let's just start by looking at camel pose, which is this back bend that we do in yoga, where we're in a kneeling stand and then we extend through our spine and we look up and maybe we look all the way back and maybe we reach back and find our heels. So something like that. So that is our camel pose. And my first tip is just to point out that you don't have to take your head all the way back in camel pose. You can absolutely just keep your head and your cervical spine in a neutral position. So maybe just think of looking straight forward and then focus the back bend on the rest of your spine. So your lumbar spine and your thoracic spine can be the focus of the back bend, and then you can just keep your gaze pretty much straight forward and come into camel pose this way. So for many people, just that simple change in alignment can help the neck feel better in that pose. Now, my second tip is more of a bigger picture tip, but this is to start bringing in some neck strengthening into your practice. So if we work to strengthen the area of the neck, this can help build up capacity and tolerance in the area, and that can definitely make the area just more comfortable through a wider range of motion. And it doesn't have to be complicated. Neck strengthening can start with something as simple as just isometrics, where we don't even need any equipment. We simply bring a hand to our forehead, we push our head forward into our hand and our hand back into our head. And so in this pushing in opposite directions like that, we end up creating isometric work for the neck musculature, and then we hold this for like 20 or 30 seconds or so, and we repeat that a few times. And that is strengthening the neck in this direction, but we would also want to do neck strengthening where the head is pushing back. So the hand comes behind the head, we push the head back into the hand and the hand forward into the head, and then same thing, 20 to 30 seconds, do it a few times. We can also do the same thing with the head to the side. So hand on the side of the head, and then we push head this way, hand this way. We do it the other way. And then finally, the same thing for rotation. So the hand comes to the forehead, but a little more forward. You think of turning your head, but it won't actually go anywhere. And then we're turning into the hand, and the hand is resisting into the head. So isometric neck strengthening can be a great way to just build up confidence and more resilience in this area, and that can translate into a more comfortable and supported camel pose. And then my third tip, this is a way of entering the pose that I've anecdotally experienced to be helpful for many yogis. So you might consider trying it. All that we do is, instead of kind of coming into the pose with our whole spine all at once, instead of that, we think of keeping the cervical spine out of the back bend to begin with. And we do that by bringing our chin all the way down to or toward our chest and visiting double chin land. So chin to chest, make a double chin, and then we commit to that position through the head and neck. We find the back bend in just the lumbar and thoracic spine, so we arch back this way. And then once we've come into the maximum amount of extension, we're going to come in the rest of the spine. Only then do we start to lift the chin. And we might just look up a little more. Maybe we look all the way back. Maybe we reach back and find the heels. But when we enter the pose by creating the back bend kind of from the ground up, and then we add the head like that, that can often help us find more support like through our core and all the muscles that support our spine. And that can translate into feeling more support in the cervical spine region in the shape. So I hope that one of those 3 tips is helpful for you or for your students. And if you appreciated this content, subscribe to my channel so you can stay up to date on all of the tips that I share.